are about to be joined on stage by Thierry LESTABLE. Thierry is Vice Chairman of the LoRa Alliance, and you are going to tell us more about this alternative technology, long range, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is your clicker, is your stage.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. So I'm here today, as the Vice Chair of the LoRa Alliance, an amazing alliance, because indeed, right now, currently we are deploying and building worldwide, the Internet of Things. So let me tell you, a bit more about who we are, what we are doing currently, and where we are going. So, our members and our partners are sharing the same vision, okay? But the Internet of Things is here and now, and that you don't need to wait for 2020 for deploying anything or for making business out of it and for getting benefit for your citizens. And this is achievable thanks to the LoRa technology with three basic principles, which is very low power, very long range or in-depth penetration, and of course, very low cost for the total cost of ownership, both the endpoint and the infrastructure. So as an alliance, we are very open, as you could imagine, and we are going as transparent as possible, which means, we get an open, available specification that you can download for free. We are relying on open standards. We don't reinvent the wheel at all. We are very pragmatic guys, I can tell you. We have, certification. We've launched a certification process, last week in Rotterdam, okay, relying on third parties, on test houses worldwide. I will tell you about that. Security, of course, is really the core point of our development, end-to-end security. And of course, we are promoting the open business model. So at the end of the day, you are doing what you want for achievable, business model. So in terms of deployment, where we are, so this is the current map. This has been, an amazing journey with our partners, building this alliance. We've launched the alliance in March, this year during the Mobile World Congress with like 20 bunch of people, okay, and currently we are already more than 155 members. This is really an amazing growth for the alliance. And right now, we've already get 9 commitment announcements for nationwide deployments, and this is really a global footprint, as you could see. It's not only French, nationwide, it's not only European, this is going really global. I will tell you a bit more about that. These are the new members just from June this year, so basically with the summer break since September. Okay, as you could see, this is really amazing. we get a lot of demands, and with practical guys, again, some people that were involved in machine-to-machine that see this opportunity for really achieving, IoT, or even, SMEs or startups, but even SMEs, which think that, well, this is the right technology, this is the right alliance, the mature enough technology, for finally, going for IoT, for getting connectivity on my device and offering services, right? So the LoRa, which is the specification of the alliance, is really becoming the carrier-grade de facto low-power wide area network standard. Here you get, the tier 1 telcos and operators that trust us, within the alliance, and there are much more coming, This is kind of snowball effect. When we get tier 1 telcos deploying nationwide, in France, in Belgium, in Netherlands, you will see, in Russia, and some of them, announcing like India, for nationwide coverage. Well, something is happening, which means the maturity is there for the technology and also for the ecosystem, which is definitely very important. So speaking ecosystem, since yesterday you could hear about that. When you go for an IoT, you need, a strong ecosystem, and you need the full value chain. And this is what the alliance is bringing to you. You can pick up, module, devices, sensors, gateways for many competitors, and this is very important for your business, right? Competition, this is what innovation is about, So here within the alliance, this is what we ensure. Fair competition, and you can pick up basically whatever you need, depending on your own requirement. We don't impose anything, right? We can support you, we can guide you, okay, through this process, or deploying your network, or just, getting a service out there, right? So multi-source, multi-vendor interoperability, is very important and critical. That's why certification was really a key milestone for us. So we've launched, the first program of certification, as I said, last week in Rotterdam, okay? So we get already 2 test houses, so independent test houses. We get functional requirement and test plan for the alliance. And again, since this is really going global, we are, of course, currently qualifying test houses, worldwide for achieving that for any regions. So announcements, also features, as I said, certification is right on track. Roaming, I mean, of course, is one of important feature that our first customers, and especially telcos, were willing to get, right? So here, I'm speaking with many kind of different roaming, not only international roaming, but also roaming between operators on the same territory, right? Or even between, I mean, closed networks and open networks. So there were many different kind of use cases and scenarios that we had to address, and this is planned for Q1, I mean, next year. Q1 next year, specification is out there, okay, and publicly available. And geolocation will be running on the network, I mean, next year, middle of next year. So let's dig into the detail of the use case and scenario, because we are here for that, I mean, this morning. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the US. I mean, beside any marketing announcement or whatsoever, I mean, this is what's happening right now in the US with one of the partners, which is Tenet. Okay, these guys are in the M2M and IoT business for quite some time. And actually, as you could see, they are already being deployed more than 100 base stations, which are FCC certified, thanks to the LoRa technology. So basically, I mean, they are covering over like 25 million people, if you want to, this kind of metrics, right? So this is really amazing. And most importantly, these guys now are thinking like, well, actually, I can be an open kind of public network operator for the IoT, because I get infrastructure, right? So instead of just focusing on my, I mean, initial services, which were, as you could see, about propane, heating, oil, water, you know, for the delivery itself, and optimizing, of course, the delivery, I mean, schedule, right? They're opening the network and engaging with many different SMEs for offering many different kind of services. While speaking Europe, I mean, last week, I mean, it was announced by Proximus and KPN. Okay, so here this is the example of Proximus. As transparent as possible. This is the current coverage for the map in Belgium. Just in 5 months, since we get the go from the board, okay, for going for national deployment, in 5 months, we're already covering like more than 50% of the population in Belgium. Okay, so around like 5.5 million people. And these are, let's say, the first priorities for them in terms of use case scenarios. So smart parking, which is a classical one for the smart city, door motion detection for the services, airport cargo, you know, for the luggage, and temperature tracking, okay, for the food and so on. So let's go, I mean, further east, the Russian market. So this is the current status by LES, which is one of the key partners of the alliance. So LES, I mean, we are already covering like 15 major cities in Russia, okay, which is, well, equivalent of 30 million people. Most importantly, we get a deal with Leningrad, I mean, electricity, I mean, company, for shipping like 400K electricity meters. So simple electricity meters, but with the LoRaWAN technology inside, okay, and being connected. Similarly, I mean, we get a deal with Innopolis City for water meters, you know, and finally for St. Petersburg with the Lemvet company, which is focusing on street lighting and other kind of lighting for the cities. So this is pragmatic again and currently happening. So, I mean, France, I mean, you get a smart building, for instance, use case with one of the startup, which is a member of our alliance, like FinSecure, again, with smart, you know, fire detection, a classical use case, but very interesting one. China, so China, I mean, there are a lot of things happening there as well. We get a key partner, I mean, Octec, which is board of director as well. And these guys are, as you could see, already, I mean, deployed some infrastructure, okay, with LoRa, focusing on vessel tracking and smart water transportation, right? They are, I mean, identified like the top 11 IoT project by Chinese government. Waste collection for smart cities, again, another, I mean, classical use case. And this is, I mean, done by Enevo, one of our partners, again, with sensor, of course, for, you know, for the level of filling, I mean, of the container, you know, and again, optimizing the waste collection, I mean, route, okay, for the truck. And actually, we get many more and more, I mean, products available, like smart locks, trackers, I mean, many of them, street lighting, as I was mentioning, like FlashNet, for instance, or the smart parking with Colas, okay, a big subsidiary. So we get the full catalog, actually, of all these different kind of devices, services, and as I said, for the whole, you know, ecosystem, which is building this Internet of Things with us within LoRa Alliance. So we spoke, I mean, geolocation, geofencing, geotargeting, geopositioning and tracking. This is really one of the key differentiators as well. We believe, I mean, within the LoRaWAN, I mean, Alliance and with LoRa technology. As I said, I mean, this is going to be run and live, I mean, next year, okay? So because we are doing, I mean, trials to be sure that, okay, we are right-tuning, I mean, the algorithms. But this is very important because there, again, you don't need, I mean, GPS on your device, okay? So, of course, I mean, the battery life is more extended. So we don't want to replace everything, but for many of the use cases that you need for within the industry, you don't need, I mean, the accuracy of the GPS with 1 meter. You can afford, I mean, to be a bit more flexible with that. So yesterday, I mean, we mentioned like engaging with device manufacturer applications. So we are doing that definitely, and all our members. So of course, I mean, we've launched a challenge for innovation, like anybody, I would say. But most importantly, what we are doing is boot camps, for helping not only startups but really SMEs, to help them and to support them. Like, how can I connect my device and what for? Okay, and this way we can really engage within our open house, which are open to anybody, even if you're not a member, to meet the guys, I mean, to discuss with the operators, with the base station provider, or the core network provider, or service provider. And this way, you can really engage with them, and we support you, like, how you can connect your device, very easily. So, almost done, sorry. So LPO, I mean, the low power wide area networks IoT system, and especially LoRa, again, this is already changing the economy and the market of the IoT, for sure. This is a disruptive approach. Okay, we could see that already, I mean, the influence on over 3GPP and so on, which is good. I mean, again, we believe we are quite complementary at some point, okay, with them. No problem at all. This is a sustainable investment for us, okay, with LoRa technology. Okay, but you need, I mean, to be sure that you get the primary needs, okay, from the industry there. Very low power, very long range, very low cost. And again, I mean, this allows really new actors to be part of this connected economy. Actors that didn't get voice in 3GPP or LC or whatsoever, because the guys, they don't know this field. They are very pragmatic, with very focused business. So we engage them at all, I mean, really with the alliance. So innovative and disruptive IoT business, again, is emerging from ISM bands technology. So we are really inviting regulators as well, I mean, to discuss a bit more further what can be done in the mid or long term, okay, for enabling, okay, and this business.
And that's all we have time for, actually. I'm so sorry, but time is really flying by. But yeah. I'm pretty sure that all this audience will be craving to ask you questions actually during the coffee break. Seems that disruptors are on the stage of DigiWorld Summits. Thank you so much, Thierry, again for this presentation and use case on LoRa. Thank you very much, Ambroise, for challenging our speakers. I guess that now you can get a glance at what's happening on the IoT and digital products. When we're back, we'll tackle digital regulation. It's going to be a tough question there.